When did you realize you were someone's backup friend? I'll never forget the moment it clicked for me. It wasn't a big argument or some huge falling out. It was just one of those small, subtle moments that hits you like a ton of bricks. It started innocently enough. I was hanging out with a group of friends, well, what I thought was a group of friends, when I realized that, for the longest time, I wasn't actually the main character in anyone's story. I was more like the backup. It was a Saturday afternoon, and we were all supposed to meet up to hang out. I'd been looking forward to it all week. I was already at the cafe, waiting at our usual table, sipping my coffee. I was scrolling through my phone, but honestly, my mind was on the plans ahead. That's when I got a message from one of my so-called friends, Sarah. Hey, sorry, something came up. I can't make it today. Rain check? I wasn't even mad at that point. Things happen, right? So I told her no worries, that we could catch up later. I texted the rest of the group, asking if they were still coming, but nothing. No one replied. It was as if the whole group suddenly vanished. As the minutes ticked by, I sat there, waiting. I kept glancing at my phone, hoping for a message from one of them, but nothing. My coffee got cold, and I ended up just staring at the empty seat across from me. It wasn't the first time it happened, but something about that day made me finally see the truth. I wasn't part of the plan. I was the backup. It hit me like a wave. How many times had I been the second choice? How many times had I been the one people turned to only after their first choice fell through? It was like I was their last resort, someone they could call when no one else was available. The feeling was sharp, like a tiny betrayal, but the hardest part was realizing I'd been too blind to see it until that moment. I sat there for another hour, scrolling through social media, and that's when I saw it. Sarah had posted a picture of herself hanging out with another friend, someone I barely knew. They were laughing, having a great time at a different cafe. The caption was something like, "Best day ever with my favorite person." I felt a knot tighten in my stomach. So, she had canceled on me to hang out with someone else. The worst part was that I didn't even know if she had planned it before, or if it was just a spur-of-the-moment thing. Either way, I wasn't her first choice, and that hurt more than I cared to admit. That night, I sat down and thought about all the times I'd been second place, all the times I'd been left waiting while someone else took priority. And it wasn't just Sarah. It was like this pattern in all my friendships. I wasn't the one they reached out to first. I wasn't the one they called when they needed someone to confide in. I was just there for the moments when everyone else had something better to do. It stung. It really did. But I also realized something important. I didn't want to be anyone's backup. I deserved better than that. I wasn't going to keep letting myself be the afterthought. So I stopped waiting around for people who didn't value me the way I deserved. I started focusing more on myself, spending time with the people who genuinely made me feel appreciated. And little by little, I let go of the friendships that made me feel like an option instead of a priority. I didn't need to be anyone's backup, and neither do you.